Darov may actually be my best call right now, especially since looking at an Esmeralda in the EXP lane.
Getting banned already. Team Flash is the one that's supposed to have the Darov got banned, even though Team Flash was the one that brought the Darov in game number one.
Crap, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't enough to dissuade Revival from doing what they want. But take a look at what Revival has done for the past 2 games. Focusing on Pokemon's ban once again. A lot of marksmen being banned out. You know, Popo, Gilbert, the Claude, and the Bruno. It's up to Revival right now. QDX Love. Even also got target ban as well from the side of Team Flash. You know, the Estes and even the Croc this time. QDX Love could go for something else, like even the Cho he has been playing really well. You know, being able to kick away the Atlas is also a good idea. And there you go, Cho being picked up by the side of Revival.
Masha could actually be a relatively good pick right now.
From Riot, yeah.
Yeah, for Flash actually.
Okay.
For Flash, I would say that the Masha would work pretty darn well, especially if they want to go in your face and really deal with Peace, and especially understanding that Peace was quite a bit of a problem in the previous game.
Yeah, but Peace has used the second skill really well. I think Team Flash has, you know, faced the brunt of that second skill to slow down that route from that Clint is super annoying to deal with on the side of Flash. I think Flash, they need to drive something more like an assassin, trying to find peace at the same time. You're going to deal with a Marsha running up to you, or you also want to deal with an assassin running up to you. I think Team Flash is all about the execution going in, and now Team Flash going to the Irithel, and as I mentioned, assassins. The Karina fits that bill.
Looks like Karina is going to go to the jungle, and they're leaving the Paquito over to the EXP lane instead. So no more bursty Paquito, but instead maybe more towards a bursty Karina. If whether it's going to be a tanky Karina or a magical scaling Karina, that is something that we gotta have to see. But looking at the fact that Revival has a Cho, has an Esmeralda, and then the rest is relatively just squishy, I think that Ryan's pick will determine if whether Karina goes for tank or a damage.
I think Ryan definitely needs some tankiness going in.
It could be
for the side
support,
of jungle, side of jungle pick, right? So, like the Baxia is wide open for them, but okay, a Thamus actually works for LY4 as the jungle. Remember, LY4 is very strong in these tank junglers, something that has CCs. Technically speaking, the Thamus infinite amount of slow is almost as good as a root on its own to slow down the tempo of Flash. So Flash, you expect them to bring a lot of sprints going in, but Reminiscent looking at him right now, I believe that needs to be an assassin Karina. Your main job is to find peace, deal with him quickly, and then, you know, just escalate from there, snowball out of control.
Now, the compositions, we have quite some time to talk about that. But with all of the team composition coming in together, Team Flash versus Revival, I think now the biggest question here is always if whether Revival is able to get a 2-0, or are they somehow sticking back to the ammo kind of thing and get themselves a 2-1.
We're going to go into Game 2. This is Team Flash versus Revival. If you look at Team Flash, their lineup seems to be almost like the caveman theory, right? Or the caveman strat of, I'm just going to run at you, right? You know, monkey see, monkey do, just use my stick and just bash you. Because at the end of the day, they need to figure out a way to get to peace. If they can get to him, then it's pretty much GG, right?
Well, technically, okay, no, not technically, but yes, that is exactly the way. But the thing is, Peace does have Purify onto his hands, so he can actually get himself out of the Fatal Links pretty darn easily, and the rest really relies on their teammates. If whether Swirled is able to get himself that Fatal Links and return the favor over to Team Flash, in this case, LY4 might not be the bait anymore. It may actually just be Peace being the bait. He can just get hit by the Fatal Links and then just pop the Purify, second skill, and run away.
Oh, nice. Perfect match there. QDX Love dashes to safety. Ryan, on the other hand, not able to find the rest of them. But a little bit of a skirmish in the mid lane, and it's one of those things where who can be isolated the most, right? Kayzeepi taking a little bit of damage there. Does need to be careful. QDX Love will just kind of do some damage, and they're going to look to just kind of push the mid lane here.
With the early game starting right now, I think that it is most apt for us to take a look at both of these teams' composition and understand what they gonna have to do. For Team Flash, they are really more of a burst-style composition, and they just want to jump into the opponent's face and do whatever that they want. Speed is important, damage is important, and that goes all across the board.
Oh, Kayzeepi continuing to stick around the mid lane, and it looks like they're just gonna prioritizing that mid lane, try to get as much for Swirled, you know, and just get themselves in the game by prioritizing the mid lane. I think that it's going to be the #1 thing where if you're looking at what Revival are doing, LY4 has almost been in all of the lanes right now.
Well, getting back on track, right? We were talking about damage and speed. Team Flash's emblem syncs really well.
Yeah, but Ryan taking so much damage there. Alpha V9 blowing him up. And they were not expecting the return of Reminiscent to stick around, but it looks like Kayzeepi getting a little bit low. The turtle here, the Cult Altar. Can we go back to the turtle? And it looks like Reminiscent will end up killing the turtle. The Cult Altar will keeping him up. QDX Love is going to be next on that list. He does go down, but LY4 falls as well.
Well, unfortunately for Revival, they haven't gotten a single good thing when it comes down to kills as well as the neutral objective. They have lost 3 person as well as a single turtle. Definitely not great for themselves, but we should be able to see a little bit more from this point onwards as Team Flash have gotten themselves 2,000 gold advantage, and I gotta have to say this Airtel may be doing a pretty decent work against Peace.
I mean, it complements the team really well, but as I said, okay, Ryan and Alpha V9 will just continue to skirmish, but it's one of those things where you can do your damage, you can get into range, you have mobility, you have ways to get to the enemy, right? Team Flash right now, it's all about just running at you, make things very difficult for you, and just kind of forcing the issue.
Well, looking at the fact that there is a multiple amount of... Okay, two purifiers over to the side of Revival. I think the most important thing is that they cannot... Whenever they're trying to go for a setup like that, they can't rely too much on Kayzeepi's Fatal Links, group up together and deal damage on the Revival. Because they should be expecting that Revival give them a taste of their own medicine. If Swirled and Peace got hit by the Fatal Links, hey, you can be sure that no one is going to be there once the Atlas lands. Because Swirled will turn things around, go for his own Fatal Links, and then Peace will just hit it in 4 days. So Team Flash, they're gonna have to look at another win condition, and that is to understand that LY4, in order for him to really do well, he needs to stand still and brawl it out. Is that gonna be a bait, or could they compromise that?
Oh, nice 3-man Fatal Links right there, and the Cult Altar just using defensively, but LY4 is stuck in. He's gonna probably be left for dead. QDX Love is very low as well, and they're gonna back off here. They pull back Kayzeepi, put him out. Yes, they did get the shot, and Swirled will snipe that one.
That is 1 kill for the side of Revival. So far, we're looking at Swirled constantly picking up the Cult Altar for themselves instead of trying to give Flash their own medicine. So at least now, we know what they're trying to do. They are trying to play a little bit more defensive, which works exactly with how is their key to victory. They want to play defensive in the early stages, and it works pretty darn well. Perhaps in the later stages, they will pick up the Fatal Links a little bit more. With all 5 members brawling it out and preparing to take this turtle, something's going to erupt, which is really dependent on who is going to be the one to set the deal.
Okay, somebody called for a party. Oh, nice 3-man knockoff by QDX Love. He's been pushed back, though, and it goes right in for this one. And it looks like the immortalization on Remanescent, Cult of Altar, just keeping him alive. He's been thrown back. The Fatal Links is going to be used. The heavy swing pushing him back. Ryan barely able to survive A1, A2 that's been stolen, and they're going to look to just actually retreat on that one.
That is definitely unacceptable for the side of Flash. They really tried their absolute best, even seems as though they had the control of the neutral objective. But Revival, out of all of that chaos and mayhem, what exactly happened is probably something that Team Flash couldn't understand as well. There's too many things going on, and it's such a small, tiny little area. That Cult Altar understandably gave them so much value, making sure that the Fatal Links is pretty much for nothing. And Revival, this has been very consistent time and time again. It's the fact that they always cycle who gets the damage. Ryan goes in, he goes out, and then LY4 takes the damage, and QDX Love takes the damage. They're always making sure that everyone has an equal amount of damage received, and they are sharing it throughout so that they can consistently deal damage with 5-man consistently on the battlefield.
They need to do the damage, and I mean, most of that is going to be pretty much on the back of Swirled, or the fact that he's able to steal the right ult at the right time. He did that, and they did well because of that. There's a lot of pressure on Swirled to ensure that his team wins based on his steals.
Well, when it comes down to Team Flash, I think that it can probably see a lot more game plans, but I think that it is kind of like a very static way of playing, you know? Shadow Stampede into a Fatal Links sounds like a dream. It sounds like something that you would be able to pull off and then melt everyone down with Alpha V9 rushing in with his combos, and not to forget Reminiscent with his assassination combo, and not to forget Pokemon, he's got his ultimate that allows him to deal AoE damage with his crossbows. So that is the dream composition. That is the dream engagement. But let's be real here. that is definitely not going to happen with the amount of Purify that's available onto Revival side.
Oh, it's very hard to do. Alpha V9 gets knocked up. Oh, the jab. One more time, the Cult Altar is going to be used. Peace has been knocked out, and that's going to be a lot of damage that's going to be mitigated off of this one. The stolen one is going to be used. Pokemon, he's going to be back to full. Swirled is running for his life. He goes down. Alpha V9 will secure that one. Ryan's on the end, and it looks like they're going to back off here.
Definitely do not like the Cult Altar as a caster. I hate looking at that. I have no idea who's going down and whose HP was what. That's the biggest problem! 19,000 gold for the side of Team Flash and 19,000 as well for Revival. Both of these teams are neck and neck and pretty much on the stalemate. It is very tough for either one of us on the desk to understand who is exactly winning. The amount of turrets that's taken from both of these teams are relatively equal as well, except for the side that Flash have got more confidence as such, running straight into the opponent's quadrant.
Oh, but the backside QDX Love is going for the flank. They found Reminiscent. They do the damage. They have enough. LY4 will secure that kill. Now, Team Flash, are they looking to just kind of bait them out? Swirled is kind of on the wrong end of this one. He gets to safety.
What seems to be a problem for the side of Team Flash is that they constantly let the opponent slip right out of their grasp, right? They don't necessarily have a static opponent that they want to bring down to 100%. It's more of like, I will do as much damage as I can within this period of time. So if this person runs out of my way, let me target another person kind of thing. And we've seen that time and time again. If someone gets out, they are definitely going to be safe, especially in the death ball composition for the side of Revival. So Revival is able to cycle through their health pretty effectively. And not to forget, LY4 is sustainable, Ryan is sustainable. So if Revival keeps on playing like that and Flash allows them to play like that, Flash is not going to have a very good team fight in the next few minutes.
Oh, the perfect match, just barely off the mark. Nice two-man knock.
Oh, no.
The kick! That's going to be used. The Cult Altar used on both ends. Swirled is going to be back to full. Kayzeepi is looking to fight.
There we go.
But the other one, A1, A2 has been killed. Swirled is next on that list. They want to get more. Peace is looking to draw a beat onto somebody. Alpha V9 goes directly for Peace, tries to burst him, doesn't have enough. QDX Love tried to save him. He dies in the end. Ryan is going to be next on the list. And Reminiscent is looking to just clean up at this point. They have 4 members of Team Flash here. They come out the victors on that team fight.
Now, the outer turret is going to be taken down by the hands of Flash, but a short little recap of the previous fight is that most of the time I'm just confused about value. Is it more value the fact that your Cult Altar basically mitigate the damage coming in from Fatal Links, or the fact that the Fatal Links is the one that procced your Cult Altar, dropping you into a silent situation where you can't move, you can't do damage, people can't do damage to you? Because it essentially is the same way as being stunned. So what is it really working for Revival? Is that really the game plan that they want to do? To be locked down onto the ground despite not being flung in the air by Atlas?
Look, it's one of those moments where Swirled stole it, right? Using it is a whole nother option, right?
It's practically value, right?
It's value, right? It's when you can get it and when you can kind of get it off. I mean, the fact that he's able to steal it and to even get it off the first time, I think is just tremendous value already, right? Having it at the perfect time, of course, Swirled needs to work that out. Not easy to do, and there's a reason why it's a very difficult situation where, again, you're trying to counter Faramis' Cult Altar, and when do you use it in return?
I think technically at this point in time, Revival wants to look at their win condition as easy as possible, the easiest way to do things. Because popping the Cult Altar is 100% easier than popping off with the Fatal Links. And you wouldn't want to do that, because if you pop off the Fatal Links, the opponent is just going to Cult Altar, then that is balance, right? It's practically a stalemate. If the opponent does a Fatal Links onto you and you have the Cult Altar, it's the same thing, vice versa. So I think Revival right now, the main thing really goes down to the other team members and to how they fight.
Oh, but QDX Love went in ham. He tried to go 1 versus 4. I don't know what that call was, and it looks like they're going to retreat for this one. And QDX Love just very ambitious with that one, completely putting himself out of position. But as I say that, Alpha V9 gets pulled back, will run away.
Not too big of a problem coming in from a Paquito. Does have quite some sustainability, especially with the Festival of Blood, and I can imagine that he has popped himself with a couple of a Bloodlust Axe, War Axe, or perhaps even Hunter's... Okay, it can't be a Hunter Strike, but probably full out defensive as well as a single Bloodlust Axe. So we can expect that Team Flash does have quite some sustainability onto their side, and Kayzeepi is mainly the one that goes in for the initiate... Hunter Strike.
Yeah. And
okay.
If we're looking at Team Flash, though, I feel like you talked about ease of play, right? Ease of a team strategy. Team Flash, it's pretty much just run at you. Maybe you get the perfect match, maybe you hit it, and then you just win the team fight. But it's much easier for them to do that.
And now with the Lord marching in, or rather just trampling down onto the inner turret. That is 2 turrets in the middle lane that's taken down. The mega creeps that's marching into the bottom lane and top lane ought to bring down all of the inner turrets from Revival. As such, what's left is going to be the inhibitor-based turret standing up tall. All of which are still, you know, relatively unchipped, and all of them are still in a tip-top condition. I don't believe the Revival is going to go down just yet. It all depends on how Revival plays this in a defensive situation, which I'm not gonna be too confident of, because from this point in time, their damage may not be as much as we would expect.
Definitely not. Definitely not at this stage, right? Team Flash, I'm sure that they would have, you know, expected it to be, you know, even higher at this stage. I mean, they're up 5K net worth lead, but they're playing things very, very well. This is a great bounce back game and what we expected from Team Flash, because, you know, it's one of those moments where maybe this draft is starting to work well. Like, it's very simple and very, you know, not to undermine what Team Flash have done. They're definitely mechanically skilled, but here we go. Cult of Altar, that's going to be used, and if they throw back, they've nice 3-man knock up. QDX Love is getting so low, but it looks like they're going to continue on. QDX Love dashes over the wall, but Swirled has already been killed. Massive one, 30 seconds on that death timer.
Once again, the advantages and the disadvantages coming in from the Fatal Links, right? You see all 4 of them just chilling out there, and you can imagine putting yourself in the point of view as the characters themselves. Imagine being a Clint, you know, a marksman, a rodeo cowboy guy, you know, you're just standing there looking at everyone looking at you. You don't know what to do. The only thing you can do is just wait until the shackles of you comes off, and then you're like, oh, I can move again.
All right, okay, for the record, the cowboy is probably like the Marlboro Man. Just look at, he's like a model, he's not really a cowboy, like he doesn't know what he's doing, right? He's sticking in the back. But as I say that, piece very low, doesn't need to be careful. They do have the knock up on Reminiscent. LY4 does get pulled back. They've taken a lot of damage. Revival looking to just heal things back up, and they'll just look to reset everything.
Now, here's the thing when it comes down to Revival is the fact that I'm not too sure whether I mentioned it already, but I'm not really a huge fan of a Thamus playing into this composition. Yes, when you steal the opponent's Cult Altar, you can definitely do a very good job in standing tall and just dueling it out. But that also brings down the amount of time, the duration that you can use your Quadrant Inferno. So do you want to use it before, after, or within the Cult Altar? That is always the biggest question. How long can LY4 stay committed to the Quadrant Inferno? And of course, itemizations, right? Does he have the Corrosive Sign? Does he just go in for the Rat build? Because if he does, there could be a possibility that he can do a very good job ratting down the turrets as fast as possible and perhaps even end the game all by himself. But it's definitely not something that we can see or will see, because now a fight happens.
Yeah, Cult Altar is going to be used. That's going to be used defensively. Pieces on the wrong side of this one. He gets blown up. Reminiscent will secure that one, and it looks like they're going to go for a QDX Love. No, LY4. He gets knocked up. He's been killed as well. Pokemon look at a clean house at this point, and it looks like Ryan is on the run. No real way to get away from this mega kill Reminiscent.
The top lane creeps up, pushing all the way down, and they have a lot of pressure already. Revival only have 2 members to defend this, while Team Flash, all 5 members are still remaining. What exactly can they do? Throw their bodies in!
They're trying to go for this one. QDX Love just trying to defend, but the base is being focused, and that looks to be GG at the 15-minute mark, 13-6. Team Flash strike back.
Well, impressive game coming in from Team Flash, I gotta have to say. You know, when it comes down to composition, Team Flash, they do seem a little bit rocky, but they have worked on to what I believe would help them. In the previous game, they don't have the lockdown, and of course, they don't exactly have the composition that can really get in your face and deal damage as much as they want. This time,